Wacho. Okay, arwako dala naka, mai dala na. Adwaro ni mondo apimnu na matin wach mar dongruok dala ka dala. Ma en thuon wach mar Kisihomi kata model mar Kisihomi dongruok dala ka dala. To gima dwaro ni mondo anyisu en kaka nachako matin e yor pidho gwen, lessons maselan, kuonde masewang'ie, kuonde masedhie maber, mondo bed ranyisi ma jomoko bende nyalo kwanya achiel ariyo. Bas bang' mano wabro dhi e puodho, wabro ng'iyo ni en ang'o mapidhe puodho. Ok en puodho maduong' ma commercial. Gigi gin gik mapidho mag domestic, to ka pidho mang'eny tanyalo uso moko. Koro abro tero bang'e wabro dhi e puodho mapidhe fruits, apidho maembe, apidho machungwa, apidho alot. Bas wadhi neno kama kendo apidhi oduma. Bas kwatieko to wadhi neno kama asechako gero kund dhok maluongo ni stadium mar dhok. Koro magi gwen gi gin mixture mar pure traditional to gi improved kienyeji. So gima waketo an gi 16 compartments. Koro gima watime compartments ni waketo nyibuchi adek, nyibuchi abich to gi thuon achiel. So each compartment nitie gi nyibuchi abich gi thuon achiel, kaka unyalo neno kanyo nyibuchi abich gi thuon achiel all through. Wang'eyo ni jogo mosomo wacho ni onego bed thuon achiel gi nyibuchi 10. To nwadwa ni wa maximize on fertilization so that wayud fertilized eggs. Wabed sure ni wayudo as many fertilized eggs as possible. Koro mae kaka en this side. So koro gima timre ni gwen gi toko. King'iyo iye kacha nitie kuonde ma gitoke, goro mwaketo ni moro ka moro. Nitie goro ma gitoke each compartment. Koro gin e iye ka, ok giwuok oko. Bas ka gisetoko to wakawo tong gi, to kwasekawo tong gi to watere incubator piny kocha. Koro the incubator run gi solar. Ok wati gi stima. Wan gi stima mana ka koth ok ochwe. Ka koth ochwe kata ka onge chieng' mang'eny to wanyalo supplement gi stima. Lakini sana watiyo gi solar ma waran go the incubator, kendo waran go the lighting manie iye kanyo mar vifaranga kata nyithi gwen, kendo waran go also the lighting mar just the general place. So as you can see, I have solar panels and that is what I use. Eyeka en gima koro kanyo wachako. This is a new plan. Makoro wafeed macha is an incubator. Mwakete tong mwagolo malo kocha. Koro kwasekete tong twarito kakoro gigi tocho to kora dhi nyiso kama gidhiye. We also have another small incubator here. One gi the smaller one ema nwachako go elere. Yeah, one another smaller one manwachako go. Koro kae bende wanyalo ka wan gi tong mang'eny to wakete. Koro kaka wacho nwachako gi layers. Ma layers awang seriously mo awe layers basa die mag nyama mag miuso nikech mag ringo kenda dog awang because they need a lot of food and it's too expensive. Kagi se lay kacha to gibiro ka. Koro kagi biro ka to koro magi manyocha owuok. Koro whatever number ma wan go, koro magi manyocha owuok. Magi obedo gine karango?
Robedo 9.
Yeah, so magi are about a week old. Less than a week old.
Yeah.
Koro gibiro to waketo gi ka. To kwaseketo gi ka macha neno ka idhi gole mondo hango gine mondo we watieki. Koro gibiro gibet ka. Koro godiochieng' to yawo nige yawa kama gotieno tiloro ma to taya ni donje kinde ka. So gotieno tiloro kanyo tikiko taya ni mondo giyud ler gi liet. To ber kigiyud koyo ahinya gotieno. Kech ka koyo ng'eny to giluore ka gidwaro liet ae to bas githo ma piny tho. Koro gia kono to gibiro koni. Koro moger gi mano is the plan. Ni kama ne ka gidwa be. Koro rito ka gisebedo like about a month magise grow wings. At least feathers osewuok e wings to gibiro koni. Koro koni, if you see, there's one that now they are slightly bigger. So if you're looking at here, they are slightly bigger. Magi are now about 2 weeks old. Koro kagi sego lugin, and then now they don't need continuous steamer. So waketogika. So when you look at this, so as I said, I'm planning. So we want to make sure that wakelo tong mangeny, tongo kose tocho to dhi kocha kose bedo 1 week 2 weeks old to biro koni. So these 3 4 5 e kama gidhi to kakoro gisebedo machopo about 2 months to 2.5 months to koro watero gi malo kocha. Now that is down here. Huku juu nitie mine. So mine toko kama gitoke kawaida, mine ma traditional free range. Kagi se toko magi tocho toko wegi oko wakelo gi ka e room malo kani to gi room makocha cha to gi room ni. Koro gibet kanyo gi nyithigi, kagi se bet kanyo gi nyithigi, gibet kanyo gi nyithigi for another 1 month up to 2 months kangeny. Ai to agolo nyithindgi watero kocha. So any nyithindo whether otogi gi kienyeji or otogi through the incubator, kose chopo 1 to 2 months to agolo from here to watero malo kocha. Kona machiel chato ntia wendo, an ga wendo moro kanyo ma walaure go samoro la giduogo. So that is what happens here. So from there tong biro ka from here kagi se tocho to matindo this other side to kama matindo se grow to about 2 weeks, no se grow the wings to go this side, then kose chopo 2 months titero kocha. The same thing as kienyeji because tocho different places magitoche kagi se tocho titero ikelo gi min gin gibiro gi min gi. Which without min we realize that they die a lot. They are not like improved kienyeji. Makiyudo tong gi to nyithindgi ok thop hiyo. To maka thop hiyo. Koro we decided, and as I said, we are learning as we are progressing. So we decided ni wa move gi minegi to atero gi malo kucha. Then koro kagi se bedo madito to then wa separate gi mingi waduoko mingi oko chako toko to gin watero gi malo the other side. So that is what happened. So adwani wadhi the other side mondo koro wang'ere kama wakete the ones ma are now 2 months. Then kwaseketo mag 2 months go kagi chopo 3 months to koro gin siche ma kawaida. So then we either bring them out, then gichako bedo free range, or kama ginitie moseti to koro waketo gi ka wachako prepare them again to so kidonjo iye ka, as I say, we have this side 5 nyibuche 1 tuon down and up all the way to the end. Side makoni ni to kingi san to onge gimoro enema kienyeji ninde. So the free range ma kienyeji kwa komo thiambo to nindo kodegi these places. So that's why these places were free. To magi to nigi gwente magi bende are also the ones ma bende waketo ma miwa tong huko mwisho bende miwa tong. So if you check here kingiyoka, so this is now the harvesting of the tong. Magi tong mwakwanye iye ka mwatere incubator. Of course be wachamo or mwatere incubator kende. So as I mentioned, so we bring them here. And here is also what yogi the solar. So lighting me currently there is also solar. And so thing culture now actually we know such about 3 months to aduogo gi call 2 to 3 months. Koro kingiyo maloka. Ela no kinyal climb up. Kingiyo maloka one compartments. Mamalo gi maka koro gweno chopo 3 months to akete, you can hear them jumping. So they move from there and now we put them here. On all these compartments there are like about 15. So that is now the plan. They start from here, the eggs, we take them to the incubator, they hatch, we keep them on one side with sufficient warmth, and then once we have done that, they have reached about 2 weeks, we move them to the other side where they don't need a lot of attention. Then kagi se chopo kanyo magi chop about 2-3 months, we move them waketo gika. Then kwa se keto gika koro gibedo gidongo eyeka. Then from eyeka koro either gibro replace makoni gikoti or gidhi oko, so that then they become free range. So that is the kind of way that we are starting. And as I said, any wachako gi layers wawang to death, wadhi meat wawang to death, and koro sani waduogo, and this very simple traditional way, traditional way, and to see that how this one is going to work. So that is the Kuku project. I call it the Kuku project. So that is the Kuku project. And so what I do is that I've invested quite a lot on water. Actually, okatigi pi mar county or mar kanjo. Okatigi pi mar kanjo. Now you do bills mangeny. Inyalo yudo bills kata twice a month. So I decided, pesa machulo bills mangeny go, how do I invest in water harvesting? So if you look at my compound, everywhere there's no roof maonge tangi, except marbanda, because I don't know much. I don't know how the roof is. So pimai witado ni die tangi ni to katangi ni opong to pukre tangi ati pukre is channel to tangi next. So everything about odni magwen modho milwoko go odni mitimango otiyo gi pige. So my pig gwen. And then if you look down there, benitie roof ka roof nigi tangi. So pi ma tangi ni makocha luoko everything ma piny kocha macha to is just cho nigi tangi ne maluoke go. Oko piga malo koni. Ot ma piny kocha cha nigi tangi nigi ma feed gwen go ma for drinking, for luoke, for kila kitu. So that is the way I make it manageable, rather than, because gwen can move quite a bit of water. So that's my plan. That the plan is to make sure that I have sufficient water to serve without having to pay high bills, because the bills, what I have saved from not paying bills is more than higher than the amount that I used to buy the tanks and put the gutter. So that is the end of phase 1, which is the Kuku project. Yes. Okay, koro wachopo aken luonge ni phase 2, aken luonge ni project 2. So project mokwongo ne en mar gwen, koro wadhi fruits, koro apidho matunda madwa ni mondo olembe madwa ni sama koro old age na kama, koro achamo mos. Kik itego go piny. Koro wanyalo donjo gi ka. Koro kung'iyo an kae gi maembe. So nitie maembe nitie mosechako manyak, to nitie bende ma flower. Kaka macha nitie manyak gi ma flower, maka nitie manyak. Gin at different stages. Nitie manyak kae to rabuon cha. Ahero ga rabuon, ok ahero mkati. Mkati chamo kochuna. Koro nicha keto rabuon moko kanyo. Mana omo kadenge. Mana omo kadenge ir colleague na moro. Koro maembe gi again, I have 80 trees mag maembe, and then a yeka I decided ni koro apidhi a lot bende. Apidhi a lot mondo kiko beda ni en open. Koro I intercrop, not really, yeah, I would say intercropping a lot. So sani magi koro oseti, aseng'wedo gi for quite a bit. And as they tea, asechako pidho manyien. As you can see, around this area, asechako pidho kendo manyien. As korabro, magi makoro bro dongo, and then adwa pudho magi, gi maybe the next course. Adwa ni koro, apidho manyien dongo, to machon, kaka koro madongo gi, koro agolo. So this is my fruits, like fruit garden for maembe. Now, maembe urumoka, as you can see, 80 trees. Then kichako kae to koro ichako machungwa. Koro buche gitakunyo madwa pidhi a lot, munda replace go mosetigi. So as you see, machungwa to sani onyak quite a bit. Giponde iye kanyo makia koro unenogi. Lakini you can see that machungwa nyak quite a bit. Maembe no nyak a season ma ito bas koro oro bedo of the last oro. So in their season is always kind of they alternate. Korokai, you can see a lot of machunga fruits all over the place. They are just like each one maybe like over 100. As you can see, they're just everywhere. This is all machungwa. This is all machungwa. And remember, I'm growing them as a lay person. So maybe somebody who is an expert would say like, oh, negi trim ka ana care what to trim. All I know, ni angi machungwa apido. And I think they're almost ready. I thought him was ready, but he still had. So whatever we take gina, I said to you, which time I could have pide a lot as I remove these ones. And so that is what this is about. This is here. So as you can see, machungwa is like quite a bit, although some are actually dropping. But ginyak a lot. As you can see, they are all like packed. Like if you can see, in and again dark. Maybe they are not being visible kabisa, but they are just all over the place, as you can see. And that's what it is for my oranges. If you had come like 2 months ago, ungepata kama maembe ndio ilikuwa hivi, and machungwa ilikuwa inatoa flowers. But as you can see, the machungwa imeanza kuflower also. Some of them zimeanza kuflower, even though they are not quite ready. I think this one needs to be lifted. Mondo kiwe all of the ground. So we need to come and lift those ones. And so as you can see, this one is both having fruits, quite a bit of it, but also flowering for the next season. And so that is now the plan, as we can see. And that is it for my machungwa. Also another 80 trees of machungwa. And then again, huku juu pia akete rabuon tumara mar breakfast. As I said, I prefer rabuon to mkati or anything. King yo technique, containers mag technique. There's this one here. There's that one there. Nitie mapinyni. Nitie moko mang'aw malo kucha. Mago na pidho go rech. So kamuleno mar gwencha was a fish pond. It started off as a fish pond. So because now lopi, and I think I was changing water every 2 days, and every time kibiro to rech ginene laurewi. So I decided to go to rech, but I converted to ginene. I converted to Gwen. So Gwen Mwanenocha was initially, the initial plan was a fish pond. And so I converted it to Tengni Mina Nokagi, and the Tengni Mane, Manaketo Recheigi. And then I would then go Lupie Boy, Taita Pongu, but I think that wasn't giving them sufficient oxygen. So as I said, I like recycling. So I recycled the fish pond into Odgwen. I recycled Tengnigi into a place for kind of irrigation. Not quite where I want it, but kind of irrigation. So I took kai kore ema kunae. And since 2020, pokanyie a lot, pokanyie ginene mogo, pokanyie oganda, because apidho maga. So malo this other side, emakoro, as you can see, nitie koro duma. So apidho duma, and I always pidho nyamula. Mina anja nyamula. Ang'iyo gi chamo nyamula. Koro malo ka apidho nyamula, but some sections, as you can see, nitie a lot madongo. So I also have more because it took a while. Kani pokadoyo kamoda pidhi a lot makonegi. Koro I took a little portion the other side. Sukuma iko pale. Osuga nya apidho nyoro. Ekona kacha nitie osuga nya apidho nyoro. And then the rest of it is just oduma. And so as I pidho oduma, what I do, si apidho oduma laini ka laini. In between, akete bo or akete osuga. Then kaseketo bo osuga within 1 month or 1.5 months, I pull out, I sell or I eat, and then owe oduma ka korodongo. So that I maximize, but also the intercropping helps with the soil. So that is the plan. So this is now my bread basket. And since okwang'eny, oroma more than enough. What I grow outside, I sell. But what I grow here is for my food. I built my home in 2019. I moved into my home precisely on the 14th of December 2019. So that means kai nena na buya and shrubs kakida no pin kachacha. So I started by akonga abete apide bolilo everywhere just to get it used to being used or utilized, yeah. Then bas bangi kora pido gigi in 2020. I think 2020 January and start of February, because it was before COVID. It was just before COVID. So that's when I planted the fruits here. And from what I'm informed, no negobenachi I harvest them after 3 years. So me, I harvested my first mango after 1.5 years. I was told that is like I should have cut off Mondarit go 3 years. Somebody told me that is like teen pregnancy. That I should. So they are now at least 3 years. So they are exactly where they're supposed to be. And actually, when you're looking at even the way the oranges are golo machungwa, give a lot more than when I started. So I should have cut them off, but I didn't. So I ate the first time, I ate the second time. This time around, machunga I may not chamogie out. I may sell some of them and eat some at home. So that is how 3 years you have them to where they are. So these are 3 years old. Yeah, as you see them. I think my biggest peck was a hot. Was Gwen, was Reg Mokwongo, Motama Kabisa, Mawe, Made layers, Malayas Otama. Layers are interesting in the sense ni Kabochi Biro ni Polo Polo Kothluachue or Kothichue, change of weather. Nikia Ogitok Malongo. Kia Unogoni Kiko Timango. It's like they're so sensitive. Except Chimu reduce the appetite. It reduces production of eggs, but not the appetite. So I left the eggs. Nikaenda kwa ya nyama. Because the nyama I thought, I don't have to buy like egg, mash mama very expensive. I went to that, it's also expensive. Because sometimes what happens, for the nyama was not bad compared to the eggs. Although the eggs are had ready market. But for the nyama, what the problem was that samorogin ready. You say bet korgigi for the age midwaro, the weight midwaro, but you don't have the market. And ukayonge market, ingeni koro jo market GBAW. Koro now is like, oh, one okwadwarigi 600, one miwagi 400. And then you're thinking, I bought this thing at 300. I say keep it for 4 months, kochiemo, or say chakogine, it is double the weight, and they still want it at more or less the same amount. So, and for eggs, I said that's a tongue. I said that's a tongue also. But for meat, you have nothing, many said that's. So it's like, you pay there, or do get one at the same price at which you bought it, or maybe make 50 bob or 100 bob. And I just thought, this is a waste of my time and money, and the headache of where to get the money for food every single day. And so that was the biggest problem that in Gigwen, and I've heard this from also a few others, in Gigwen, they are ready, they are good, there is no market. And that's why coming together, kaka kisihomi, gima kisihomi chungne, and something ma nyalo konyowa, why you a better market. Because anka and gimara, I give an example of samoro, let's say ni apido njugu or apido something, ayudo deba chiel deba reyo. Sabro chamunus ne 1.5 samora dwa uso. Mara ningeni the best I would do is to tingego there wa de use e chiro kadonge. But kane ikelo magi to akelo maga depareyo, ikelo magi deba chiel ngato kelo gorogora ngwen ngato kelo gunia ngato kelango uriwe together, you command the market. Right now as we are talking, like take an example of njugu, machia kuyoma seriously and other places. What is happening? Wamudu njugu mwa Malawi. Because we are not coming together mondo, we command the market. Koro ngato kangato nigi mare, koro ngeni nyalo na use mathin as I was telling you, gwenda go koro na usa, areyo kawuono, achiel kawuono and so on, and I went at a loss because I didn't even make 150 on each one of them after keeping them for 4 months minimum. Some I even kept for 6-7 months because there was no market. And so lack of market is also discouraging a lot of farmers because you think nika se uso tukura diwogo, kuri dwati monango. For example, ineno machunga kikaka kuro ginene. I think machunga kigine together you may even get 2,000 or more. But then kakorongi okanyal chamogi odakenda, we are only 4 people. So what do? You need to, how do you sell? Like right now, wachamo machunga mwa moa Ukambani. Ukambani otuo molo gwenge wakadonge. Wachamo fruits more elsewhere. But we can grow. This is a testimony. Can it kamo tuoga, by the way, and dalanaka. Tuoga basa mora pecho ganito koth chue much of bondo. Toke kadho bondo kibiro kato tuo mabure madum. Now I was joking sometime ni nyaka beni tie jaduong moro chien kucha. Mano tho around area miluongo ni Barko Wino ka. Mae to bas ochungo koth, tai to tho kapoko oandu. Nikech koth is everywhere except here. But so this place dries, gets really dry. And koth kato chue ina percolate really quickly. But if we can grow this here, it shows that we can grow puothe ma wan go mang'eny ma ok watigo. You can do this, but you can also do other things. I know one of the fears, which is true, and I've seen it, en ni ipidho gini e puodho kamoro, to jomoko to linga, they are lazy, gibet piny, to rito kosebedo ready, tiyudo ka nosedhi gotieno mokwalo te. So what is it that we can do differently? Because we can't sit and just say jakuo bro kwalo. Because then jakuo will have a field day. What is it that we need to do differently? I'm not saying I have an answer, but when we put our heads together, we can see what we can do as a community. Kae makoro maradek manawacho, mae to koro en plan. Mae ok en gimo setim, moserumo. Koro mae en plan. And plan en mar pidho dhok, mar pidho dairy cows, starting small and growing, hopefully. So my and where I'm learning. So nitie some members of Kisihomi manose biro ka. I think about 4 weeks ago, mondo mia idea on what I need to do. And so adwa pidho dhok. The first reason any goal na any kase retire tadhi e duka matin. Ok adwa nyiewo alot, ok adwa nyiewo mogo, ok adwa nyiewo fruits, ok adwa nyiewo gik mochuno ni ok ochuno na nyiewo ki oganda kiango. Koro harvest manwatimo magik. Anga gi puothe moko oko marka ma apithe to mago ta uso ga dala kata machamo. Koro magi gine mago duma. Niango duma mana gole puodho moro an go somewhere. Koro ok bende kisegolo dumbi bende ngeni dhoke madonjega. Kisegolo dumbi e puodho to dhoke madonjo. So this time round I decided ni instead of we dhok donjo, why don't I ka ngado mondo bi aket ka. So this is the beginning of preparing chiemb dhok. Sio peke yao, abro mix gi other things that are required. But this is one of the things that nimeweka hapa. So abro dwaro later machine mangado gi, and then iriwo gi lum gi all other things that are required. So this is the start. And then asechako pidho siaga. Mae tenya pidho mnagi koro. I would say ni like 2 weeks ago. So this is something that is not like immediate. So 2 weeks ago, puodho mane oduma gi oae, I've taken 1 acre out of it. Apidho siaga. Koro siaga go, I'm hoping nika koro sechako bedo ready. Abro riwo gi magi. Toke ka benda se loso gi jirani moro ma ok na penje ka en gi plan mar tiyo gi puothe in the next 5 years to nyisa no onge go. Koro wachne ko nyalo yiena monda chiele kidogo bas monda pidho siaga. So I'm thinking of places manyalo pidho siaga, to also the other chiemb dhok bende an go malo kama wang'iyo manitiyo dumacha. On this other side akiano neno rabolo. So ei rabolo kanyo adwa pidhe another type of chiemb dhok monyisa mi jina ni ngumu sijui ni gani. So the point is learning from gwen and how it is important to make sure ni in gi secure food supply mar gwen. Kidwa pidho layers, kadwa pidho mna mag gina nyama, mag michamo. The most important thing is food. Do you have stable food? Can you afford the food? Because food never meal a stopwatch layers. Food never me a stopwatch. Watch gina chicken, rearing chicken for meat. And so I do make sure before I start the ng'ombe, at least I say figure out kama chiemo broae. So one is putting a man go oko kapidho akelo magi tabro riwo gi the other things that are required the way that I'm being taught. And already gi 2 people are experts. One is an expert in dairy farming, obro of our training, and one is also an expert in horticulture, but also with some aspects of dairy farming. And what I told them, there's a young girl who did dairy farming at college level. So I only asked, they train me, they build that little girl. Well, she's not a little girl, she's sitting in college. But as they train me, in terms of what I need to do, Adwani Mondo, give me that girl you'd experience. So it's like holding her hand as they also train. So that this is going to be, I'm being trained, I get the ng'ombe, I get my milk, and for this one, I want to make it commercial. At least I want to sell. But I also want them to hold a young person's hand so that post-training, hajapata experience in her area of training. So she went and did something else, just somebody idimna kama kaminyala yule kibarua. So she alienda kufanya kibarua elsewhere, but I would want her, Mondo, these two experts, as they're training me, she's also learning. It's like she's shadowing them, and then she will be able to also be trained so that she can become an expert. So that is the plan. Yeah, so that's the plan for the food. And I'm also hoping, my hope, and I'm really looking forward to the training, because one of the things that we have been told, and I also put it in our summary, today updates, is that we are going to have a training on dairy farming. And I'm the first student. I am the first student on dairy farming. There are those that already know they've started. Me, I've never, ever, ever done that. Of course, I grew up Kamadiang Markul Nitie, but that is all I know. But dairy farming is a totally different story. So I am here as a student. So what I'm showing you is like as I'm learning in terms of what needs to be done. But I want to use every opportunity to learn. Unfortunately for here, I did not bring in a young person to build them. But I want this one, that the experts to hold the hands of a young person, so that by the time that they are done with me and Biro, I'm stable, this young person has also learned and now can practice what she trained on. And then I'm also thinking that as we are trained, we don't have to have only Jomadwa Pidodok to be in this group. We also want Jokma, they are just specializing on fodder. In put any money in Dononoka, you pay the Osiaga, you pay the other foods. And therefore, because not all of us Nikikama Ginyalo pay the Osiaga, Tidwa pay the Guinea. So you'll buy from outside. So instead of buying from outside, can we get Minewa money around here, Wonewa money around here, money put them they are not using. Mondo pay the gig Madok Nyalo Chamo, and then now we buy from them at the same market rate as we would have bought from somebody else. Mondo pesa will circulate iwaka. That is my prayer and my goal. So I hope that somehow we'll achieve that. So finally, this is now under construction. And Maluongeni Stadium Marduk. Stadium Marduk in the sense that it's built like a stadium in a way. But initially, Kanyisha enga a kitchen garden. But kitchen garden, you pay a lot. And that's what I used to have. So this whole place I used to have a lot. Machamo, kitungu, nyanya, dania, and so on used to be here. But then I thought, why should I waste this whole kada? Why should I waste this whole place with the dania galota? So that I get the same dania, the same alot, the same nyanya, the same kitungu, and I would a lot kacha. And so I decided, can I make this place be more productive than a lot gidania? I still have an alternative for a lot gidania because I need a lot gidania. But can I have an alternative? Manya a little bit more productive. And I've been kind of thinking, dairy farming is something I want to do. I don't take milk, by the way. I mean, I take lactose free because of old age and issues with my stomach. But I was thinking, I can actually do dairy farming and starting with the Angachiel. So this is the plan, the dairy. So in here, we are going to have kai wabruketo mar spraying, and then wabruketo kacha isolation, kaponiti moromok ber, and then kacha waketi ma middle age. No, not middle age in the sense nigi giti. Gin between Niroe, Gijo Madongo. So we start from here, this side. So kaeri, this side wabrubedogi, moroka more kinde kae. And Diang Achiel. So Diang Achiel, Areyo, Adek, and so Kundema Ipogo, you have a partition for each one of them. It ng'ombe moja, mbili, tatu, nne. So I'm hoping that probably eventually kakoro and maximum I may have ng'ombe maybe 8 or 10. Yeah, and then they kaginyuol to basi idhi kae. Kaginyuol gibro dhi ka. As I said, my is still under construction. Pod ilose mos. So ka eri bro bedo mar dhok madongo ka kupogi gini, ka kineno ka kupogi. Then ka monyuol bro bedo kae. So this side bro bedo also partitioned for nyiroe. And then ka nyiroe osebedo makoro dito kidogo, then they move that side. Ile side ile. So kona kacha bro bedo an office, and then gibro move side cha ka koro gin kiasi to pog gichopo adult maginyalo nyuol. Then kakoro gichopo level makoro ginyalo nyuol to kendo gikelo gi koni. So that is kind of, I don't know, maybe I'm circular in thinking. I hadn't thought that the same circular thing I talked about in Gwen is what I'm thinking about here, but that's how I'm envisioning it. That dok betka kagi senyuol nyirochgi ibro kelka. So my bendi will be partitioned. So ikelo nyiroe ka, then nyiroe kosebedo madito makoro dwa hingo ka titero kocha. Then komaka kosebedo madongo makoro ochopo level mar nyuol to biro koni. So that kind of circular thing. And so kama podo nyuandre diere kani, the plan en ni karo owuok ka to abro loso nigi kar chiemo mbele ka. Ka dhok makoni owuok to aloso nigi kar chiemo mbele kacha. Makocha kacha, so that hapa katikati itakuwa like kind of a feeding area. So that is the plan, but we are going round checking what the others are doing, picking up lessons, adopting some, and that is how we moved the feeding from inside here to outside, but also looking at just the way our structure runs. Kichintie samoro ma structure mar ng'ato bro ran ma dok donje iye to chieme toke kucha to duogo nindo koni. But the way we had put this, no waseketo ma up kapok wadhi learn lessons from the others. So we want to adapt manwa somo kucha, but it needs to fit into what we have. So this is going to be the plan. Mwabro bedo go gidok. So when the time comes, as I said, aonge haraka, I'm not going to take a loan. Except a cooperative. Cooperative sako kenda manyalo kawe loan ki sako, the terms are much better. And a lot of these things, as you see them, by the way, all these things that I'm telling you, when I built my house, my home, I had saved for 2011 to 2019. That's 8+ years. I had saved for 8+ years. And in addition, I took SACCO loan after SACCO loan, and I'm topping up, and I'm getting top up, and I'm paying kidogo, I'm topping up, I'm paying and topping up, and paying and topping up to where I reached. So SACCO loan is a good thing. SACCO emo build that where I am. Then after that, then again, the saving from SACCO. So I just sent somebody to Nyeona Kitegi, Edonam, Tokelo, and then I just put the kite. I don't need really, you just need kind of a fence thing. And so being in a group, SACCO is about a group. It's about group and being built through a group. You can't manage on your own. You can't manage on your salary. So as you join a SACCO, then you take a loan, then you songesha, then you take a loan, then you songesha. Me, I take a loan, and once I know I can start, then now I can loan. Tachulo for 3 months, that top up, tachulo, until I reach the point where I've reached where I want. So being in a group is helpful. Without the SACCO, sidhani kama ningejenga. Even though I had saved for almost 8+ years, close to 9 years, I would not have built a home. Because ningebaki mahali. I wanted to build a home, the one that I wanted. And to reach there, I relied on SACCO a lot of getting loans to top up. Fundeo ginene ebuhola makama holda urukama. I'm calling. I'm looking for guarantors. It was a crazy moment, but it is just goes to say, ka in candy you may not achieve. Not you may. You will unless in politician. I don't know. I've never been and I'm not interested. But you cannot reach where you want to reach with pesa moja msachi. That I can assure almost everybody. Pesa moja msachi you can't. And so ki riwe mikao loan mitimo go then kori chulo loan mos then ikao titimo go, you can reach greater heights. And a lot of our staff have reached greater heights. People have built. I was hearing the other day somebody who said ni no biro chako tiyo kodwa ka en e od mabati. Mokuongo konge nothing. Onyiwo lowo moro matin ogere od mabati. As of the time that their project was ending, we were having a closing ceremony. Owaini sani en gi gorofa modaki. I know one of my staff mwaseti yoga minga. En osegero ot in 2 places, dalagi, osegero ot a town, osegero, sani ogero gine, iluongo nango, storied building, me gine mantie, I don't know whether it's Lolwe or wherever. So, and it is just sako. Oge chima poka yude no onge form, ngato feel ne, odwaro garanta. But it has moved him to where he is. And so being together, it doesn't have to be Sako. Sako is just one example. But doing things when you're together. You will do things that okinyal timo ka in kendi. And our model of dongruok dala kadala. Okabi dongra, gi nyithinda kenda. Okabi dongra, go wetena kenda. Wetena bende donge moro ka moro nigi ode. Abro dongra ka join a group that together I'm able to yudo capital, I'm able to yudo ideas, I'm able to yudo encouragement. Sometimes it is just encouragement. Like we went to learn about ngato moko machiegni ka. And when we looked at it, it's like, wow, this is good. And he's doing a good job. And because engidok mangeny, onyalo dictate the price, by the way. That's what I was told. No nyiso jori no, other places mai kama ikichulo, kai chulo wakama. Okakel ni chako kitimango, koki increase, michal gi jomoko. If you don't, they never take elsewhere. They increased. You cannot do that in gidianga chel do kareyo. And not everybody must have the kapar or pirareyo. I have one ngatonika pack. Kuriwa together. Ungidok pira beach. Don't imagine the kind of market that you can command. Imagine you can even start a milk processing plant. Why would we have everything outside? I mean, something that really makes me sad is Rech go Alec Victoria tinge kumantie a fish processing plant. Kanye? Theka. Why should we have the source of the rech ma fresh mangeng to better processed elsewhere? You know, why don't we come together and do our thing our way? Because we can. And we have seen people are doing it here. And sometimes kaka Wacho ni kamanwa dieno nti a few other places. In fact, what the loso kwa so other places and so on. Why don't we all come together as Yokmoa area ni? The others come together as Yokmoa area Machelo, Ward ni, Ward B, Ward C, Ward D, or sub-county, or even location, whatever it is. So that you come together as dairy farmers. You come together as horticultural farmers. You come together as Karakapuni, Girech, whatever it is that you want to do together. Or you can come together as Jokmanigi Lope Manindo Moktigo. Dogamanube is coming together. Ungilope Mokutigo. Land that lies fallow. You can come together and agree, what is it that we want to grow? So that coming together, even though we talk about dongruok dala kadala, you will not dongri dala kadala optimally ka in on your own. But when you come together, there is power in numbers. Not just in politics, also in development. Ya koro wachopo egiko kuom gigo matin masetimo. Kaka uneno nitie lessons mase learn, a lot of it. Nitie lessons mase learn, kuonde mase gora piny, kuonde mase pick up, kuonde mase loko, ase change approach. And also some of the new ones makore kachako. And that is why kuomana won Kisihomi could not have come at a better time. It would have come earlier, but God's timing is the best. So Kisihomi has come at a better time. We all need to be in Kisihomi because the main thing is that we want to change the narrative. What do I change the narrative? What do I change the narrative from ok nyalre to nyalre? Gini okwanyal timo to gini wanyalo timo. Gini ni nyaka bed na gi pesa masechoko kanyachiel kanyalo timo. Gini wadwa nyiso gini inyalo chako matin ti suda en bedo ja sinani kendo bedo ja ka in gi focus to move with that focus inyalo go ripiny. That is normal. It is normal to fail. I've said we have failed in Kitu. I failed. It was a fish pond. I say failed. I loke odd gwen. I failed the first round. Came to the second round. I failed. Again, on the third round, I'm seeing that it's beginning to pick. And so that is the lesson that we want to change the narrative. So one of our objectives is to biro kanyakla. And the point I've made that without kanyakla, without the cooperative maboro pesa from, I'm borrowing even today, okdina chopo kamantien. So this is not the end. Adwani munda continue, munda build so that I can let the others know that you can do it. It is possible, it can be done. And that's why we are saying, check us out. Join Kisihomi, ibro neno kamwadwa bede, wadwa dongruok, dala kadala. Mane kaka we joka nyanam, ni we can. It is possible. Let's join hands under Kisihomi, will bring the change that we have been waiting for.